Is there a change in what Immortals have started to bring to the table?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's really the question on everyone's mind. A big question mark, is always, where's the Echo, right?
Yeah.
And,
Where was the Echo?
It's going to be in pick ban today.
Yeah, I think the bans are going to be Kindred, Poppy, Azir, Soraka, Gangplank.
You cheated.
No, oh no,
You're
the
wrong.
Azir's going to be left up here. They actually had banned Azir in many of their previous games. I'm actually going to go look at it here. And it had been in the last 5 games, Immortals had banned Azir. So they're going to leave it up this game. And the other ban here would be Ryze that you would think would come out from the side of TL, and there it is. So I got 5 out of the 6 right in my prep.
Sometimes we saw that Azir being left up towards the end of the season with the Vel'Koz, but that was more if you had the time to practice it. A lot of teams were in those extended scrim blocks trying to just do regular basics down so they could come into these games quite strong. We are through the bans, now into picks. The Azir is actually going to be for Immortals.
Yeah, this is what I was going to say, is this is something, I've seen Pobelter play this champion, and it's obviously something that is going to be a highly contested pick. If you can take it away, you don't have to ban it. It gives a lot more flexibility to your pick ban stage.
Exactly, and you assume with Phoenix on the field, you cannot leave Azir up.
Yeah.
So I really like the Echo pick. Even though Huni did not take it in the previous series, this is kind of the adaptation. Jat was even saying this should be the one adaptation that's an easy one for Huni to make. Now, Lorelo taking that away is going to relegate Huni either to something out of the meta or something that is more supportive style, like your Maokai, like your Poppy.
Exactly, but you have to assume that because Immortals didn't ban Azir and left the Nidalee as that ban, they could have first picked Echo if they wanted to. They could have picked that up.
True.
So they might have something in store for that top lane Echo, and they're waiting because it could be flexed to the mid lane as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I was going to say the one thing that people had been talking about Huni playing had been the tank capacity, and this is something that, if we know, TL knows.
Yep.
So they may even be wanting to look to try to take this away, but Malzahar is actually a pretty strong pick against the Azir, I know mid lane, but we'll see if he is going to just try to go something more for lane, or if he's going to play a little bit safer.
Yeah, you could play the Echo into the Azir, but we are going to see, once again, Matt's Bard. He played it in Game 5 as well.
Yep.
It had a lot of great ultimates in the first half of the game. The second half, not so much. And that's the thing I'm looking for here from TL. They have 3 rookies on this squad.
Yeah.
They seem to have some nerves in front of 300 people at the LCS stage. Now they're in front of 7,000.
I'd also say, to be fair to Matt, there was so much pressure on him to be the one to initiate. His team did not have much initiation that game. It was basically on him to get the picks. Now they do have the Echo, so they do have something to fall back on, and we see Gragas and Janna picked up.
It's Gragas top for Huni. So this is a little bit of a different change for him here. And the thing is, Huni has been playing a lot of tanks. I actually checked his solo queue. He actually plays a ton of Poppy. Poppy is his highest win rate, most played champion on one of his accounts. The guy can play tanks. It's just Immortals haven't gone to that style because they've always needed a big damage threat. And since they have the Azir, it's 100% okay.
Both teams locked in. That Graves is locked in. Just seeing the blinking pick is a spectator visual bug. So
and that last pick is going to be
comps are
LeBlanc.
fantastic.
So Phoenix is definitely going, for a heavy laning style. He wants to be able to pressure out the Azir. He wants to be able to go for the solo kills and try to bully out Pobelter. And Phoenix is known for his Azir. He knows the weaknesses.
Exactly. And one thing I'm thinking here is, how often has Pobelter been that first priority pick where he gets the big champion that's kind of going to be that pivotal point that can change the game around? Gragas still works that way. Huni's still a guy who is very aggressive and makes the game his own. But we don't see Pobelter getting that first pick very often.
Exactly. That's why when you think about Immortals, you think about these top lane carries from Huni. He's not on that now. He's on a tank that's going to be peeling for his team. And then they're putting a lot on Wild Turtle and Pobelter's shoulders. But Adrian does have Janna again. He can peel for this team, and he can keep them alive and allow them to do that damage.
One thing I will say, although Gragas isn't that DPS carry, he is a playmaker. This is something that Huni can go big on. He can carry the team. He can make those explosive engages, the flash body slams, the beautiful ultimates, and we'll see if he's going to be able to make it.
Get a little more dangerous than you are. So only one team can walk away with third place at 50 championship points. It's going to be nice. So let us know who you think it is going to be. Show your support by tweeting at LOL Esports with the hashtag IMTWin or the hashtag TLWin. And as always, we'll check in with your votes throughout the game and tally those up to see who you are voting for. Obviously, change it throughout. Things are going to go back and forth. You may love, you may hate. That's what we love. It's esports, and we're going to be getting into the third place match right now. It is Immortals versus Team Liquid here at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on the Rift.
And already a pretty interesting little pickup here. Phoenix actually going to start Dark Seal, which is not something that you see very often. You know, Dark Seal has been kind of making its way into the meta, but in combination with the Corrupting Flask on Echo, and it's not something that you really see. So he's really looking to snowball this, perhaps, and we'll see if he's able to do it.
Yeah, you typically see the Corrupting Potion start, and then the Dark Seal second, which may be what Lorlo goes for here, but Phoenix, I don't think he's actually going to pick up a Corrupting Potion after this. I think that this is an item that he's going to try to get some stacks on. And it's not that disrespect item like the Magi's was before. It's actually a very efficient item, and you only have to use like 3 potions to actually get the same amount of HP out of it as you would a Doran's Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, obviously you do lose out on some mana regen and stuff, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up a Doran's Ring or 2 early as well, especially if he is going to be trying to really bully hard, because you know, picking up those early Dorans can be very big.
So playmakers for both mid laners coming out here as well as top. There's actually just a whole lot of damage coming in from both teams. Love seeing this coming out in the first game here. It means both teams want to show that aggro, and they're not just going to sit on their heels and wait for the action. Already setting up a little bit of a death brush. Immortals looks to get an advantage here with a little bit of a late invade.
Yeah, it's a late invade, but they do see them, so TL are going to be able to back off. They're going to be able to hide because now they know it is a lane swap from Immortals. And they actually spot Dardoch there for just a second.
And Matt is going to be pretty annoying. Ooh, nice binding, and the Wraith is actually going to reset there. So, you know, one thing I will say, though, I think Immortals is going to be pretty happy to have avoided the 2v2 because that's really TL's biggest strength. I think that, you know, Piglet and Matt are absolutely crushing bot lane. You know, their stats in the 2v2 matchups completely back that up.
Oh, they're the best.
They're absolutely the best. So this is definitely, I think, what Immortals was looking for, is to avoid that 2v2 lane. And having done so, they're going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, Janna, big bully lane alongside the Bard, so they even got a matchup that is very favorable for them.
It is a lane they can usually rely on. Piglet, one of the champions that, or one of the players rather, they'll put a champion on and try to focus that throughout a game. Not many AD carries left in the NALCS that a team will do that for. Here, swapped on both sides, so the turrets are going to be going down as we get the keystones up. Should be quite an interesting game. Heal for Pobelter, Ignite for Phoenix, and getting close to that kill range.
And the more I look at this Azir, I'm thinking, because Pobelter, he's actually doing a pretty good job so far. He's getting bullied out, though, by LeBlanc. But Immortals had banned Azir in their last 5 games.
Right, you're saying.
So that usually signals that Pobelter is not as confident on it, or they don't want to play around it, or he doesn't have the counters prepared adequately.
Right.
So I want to see what ends up happening in this series because it's probably going to be banned on red side. They might have to drop the Nidalee ban, but right now I want to see how he actually performs on this champion.
Yeah, a lot of pressure is on him to do well on it. I mean, he's playing against the guy who's famous for this champion.
Yeah.
And, you know, he blind picked it into that. So Phoenix had the last pick, and taking the Ignite, taking the LeBlanc, it's a champion where you kind of have to snowball because, you know, late game, Azir is a monster.
Oh, yeah.
And LeBlanc has to get something done early.
And we heard from Reignover, right? Dardoch loves this meta. It is the aggressive jungler meta. Take the Nidalee away, then say we can get that Azir away from Phoenix if we take it. We'll see if that backfires on him by blind picking it.
Yeah, and you were talking about Dardoch. He had a lot of respect for Reignover coming into the season.
Yeah.
But he said in multiple interviews now that he actually thinks Reignover's a little outdated with the tanks. He thinks that the carry jungle style is heavily favorable, and he thinks he has the edge in this matchup. And as a rookie, he used to respect him. And now he's back to calling him game over.
Difficult.
Yeah, well,
Hey, you got to back it up, though.
yeah. We'll see if he can.
If Dardoch has been anything, he's been confident no matter what.
Before he even knew the matchup, he said the team is smashed, right? And during the interview back at the NALCS studio. So he definitely does get that confidence right out there for everyone to see.
Yep.
5 minutes in on this one, top lane being pushed in here by TL, and we see Echo, or rather Lorlo is going to join them.
Yeah, Lorlo also picked up the combination, Corrupting Potion into Dark Seal.
Yep.
And the Dark Seal is fantastic. Not everybody makes it over the wall. The Dark Seal combination here is fantastic because on Echo, especially Tank Echo, it's very hard to kill you, but this makes it even harder. His AP ratios were actually buffed up to compensate and try to get him away from the tank build back when he was Jungle Echo. And now he has, I believe, 130% AP ratio on his shield. So if you start getting that Dark Seal out of control, and you may even upgrade it to a Magi's if you're snowballing, you get like a 300 extra shield just from that one item.
Yeah, you know, one thing to say though, if you do go all in on that Magi's, even if you are snowballing, you get a lot of stacks, you lose 10 every time you die, so that can go away.
It's very hard to die as Tank Echo though. You got the ulti.
Yeah. But in the mid
yeah.
lane, Phoenix has picked up double Doran's Ring to follow up that Dark Seal. So definitely going to be looking to really get aggressive here on Pobelter. And Pobelter is going to just want to kind of play it safe, farm up. There's not really pressure on him to get anything done.
I mean, right now they're kind of just relaxed, a little R&R for the 80 carries here on the calls, switching sides, both lanes, turrets are now going down. So it's pretty much a gentleman's agreement here in the early start of the game, and I think there may just kind of be that scared feeling for both teams to break that momentum, right? Everything's even, don't be the first one to break it unless it's a fight we know we can win. Because if you do fall behind right now, it's gonna be very far in the early game.
Yeah, not too surprised to see Negatron picked up here by Pobelter. I think it's really smart against an AP assassin like LeBlanc. You know, he just wants to play it safe. He has enough mana regen with the double Dorans. Now you build into Abyssal, and you hope to deny the assassination attempts.
Yeah, and we're seeing 3 Dark Seals this game. Huni picked up one himself. Reignover Dardoch, though, I mean, he's got Rift Herald buff, too, so he's actually quite fast.
Woo. Chain off to the side there, Sun in Phoenix's eyes. What we just saw the first bit of actual jungler aggression. Dardoch and Reignover seeing each other really for the first time, but it's backed off. Immortal's just going to stay topside here and keep pushing the lane. Yeah,
I'm actually a little surprised that Dardoch didn't fight that. First off, he had the back, and he had Longsword and Smite and Boots over Reignover, because Reignover hasn't backed yet. And then he also had the Rift Herald buff. Despite the Elise throwing everything on him, he seemed to be actually in an okay spot still.
So taking stock of things, 29-15 on Lorlos. Yeah, so Huni definitely up in that, 53-48. So Pobelter now with getting those Doran's rings, as you were mentioning, and the Negatron cloak, able to kind of just sit in front of Phoenix. Nice parallel convergence. This is definitely going to get messy for Immortals, but I don't think anybody should go down here.
Phoenix roamed first.
Oh, Huni, definitely a big mistake there. A very good eye, guys, and it looks like he will be first blood. Reignover's forced to leave in behind.
And that's huge. I mean, smart by Huni not to blow the flash after he did, you know, kind of whiff on that body slam, but he didn't actually see the minion behind him, and the minion does block the body slam. He got no distance, and he's just going to get chased down for an easy first blood. And, you know, you talked about that CS advantage for Huni. Look at it now. You know, Lorlo picks up the assist. He's tied on farm, and that's right back in the favor of TL, especially Dardoch. You know, talking about wanting to get aggressive, picking up first blood, big deal.
Yeah, and also the fact that Phoenix is roaming up here first, so even if Huni does get away, you have so much chase down potential. Dardoch already has boots, he already has the Rift Herald buff on him, and Huni gets stopped by that, but you can see how fast Dardoch is as on this Graves. Like, it would be almost impossible for Huni to get away. The fact that he was that far up in the first place without adequate ward coverage in the jungle, and also having Pobelter play to that side because he's pressured by Phoenix, is a big mistake in and of itself.
I mean, it's a lot of disrespect, right? And also, you know, not moving at all when you hear the parallel conversions come down. They both got double stunned. You know, had that fight started with a cocoon from Reignover or something, obviously it looks a lot different.
That's pretty interesting. Looking at Dardoch's Rift Herald, it made that minion bigger that we saw Huni actually body slam into. So it kind of just got right in his way. Interesting interaction there. So coming up on 9 minutes in here, Matt has been living in this side of the jungle, making sure he knows when everything's coming up, when everything's going down, and he's even got a little help from Dardoch this time. So it looks like they are absolutely trying to deny Reignover in this game.
Exactly, and what happened in the TSM versus Immortal set is Svenskeren kept going into the jungle as Graves against Reignover, and Dardoch's trying to do the same.
He may have overstayed his welcome, though.
Oh, Magical Journey. Oh, Lorlo going in. Piglet and Lorlo go in. Dardoch and Matt have committed to going out. They're forced to run back around. Lorlo, very tanky in this one with the chrono break, but he cannot stay long enough. That's going to be Matt possibly.
Ultimate from Huni.
From Reignover, or Huni, yes, thank you. Reignover almost dies, was what I wanted to say. And they get out alive on that one, only losing Adrian. What a fight, and Huni to come in at the last second.
That was a big overextension there from TL. I mean, yes, great. Dardoch wants to get in there. He wants to steal away the red buff. He has the advantage, but Piglet did not collapse. Wild Turtle did. And you'll see that Immortals just moves faster. And when Lorlo goes in here, you know, he doesn't have any damage that he's building, right? Dardoch is already out of there, and Lorlo's ulting back in. He's committing, and this was a big mistake. Matt tries to follow up and help him, and it's all going to go bad, especially really nice ultimate here from Huni.
Yeah, so what ended up happening on the top side of that fight is Phoenix is actually trying to roam to it. Huni's TP is between Phoenix and the fight, so Phoenix has to walk around, so he can't take that direct route in. So the call from TL was most likely Phoenix is on his way to blow these guys up, keep fighting, but the TP actually headed him off.
Great heal save from Turtle as well, making that one in favor of Immortals. And this is where they get an early lead here in the game. Up by 1,000 now. See how they stretch this one. Matt still trying to be a nuisance in this side of the jungle.
Oh, didn't stun.
He's still in trouble, though.
No flash.
Should be able to get this kill. You can see the old Sworn just on the other side.
Oh!
Turtle was going to let him die.
15 HP. He got it calculated. He's like, you know what? You got to go back anyway. I'm not going to waste the time.
I've done the
on
math.
Huni, though.
Oh, man. Huni just picked up a kill for himself, but gets that taken away. And that's an assist and a kill going over to Lorlo. Dardoch.
And Immortals, the team that had been winning lanes all season long, a lot of that was the pressure off of Reignover.
Right.
Now it's being controlled. Dardoch aggressive. Huni is already dead twice in this game, and Pobelter is being pressured in this lane. Phoenix has kill pressure right now.
Yeah, he did blow his Ignite on that last trade, though. And
yeah.
I mean, there's fights all across the map happening right now. You can tell these guys are amped up. They're trying to make it happen.
Yep.
You know, fights across all 3 lanes. And here comes the mate's call.
Oh, no!
What a binding! Matt is a god. That
Okay.
was awesome.
We talk about how Cosmic Binding cheats a little bit.
Maybe a lot
Yeah.
of it.
That was well played.
Good damage from Phoenix onto Reignover. And speaking of him, once again, we've kind of been sticking on him. Why not a little more? Players would always talk about how he was the one who would actually just stop you from doing things in game because he was in game. But seeing these last ones, we're seeing lanes do solo things as we are in this game. Lorlo going hard, other people going hard, because that fear isn't there anymore as much.
Exactly. It was a mental block. When I talked to a lot of players about Reignover, they said, he's Reignover. I can't do that to him. But now people are realizing what Svenskeren and Dardoch have been doing is going into the jungle, keep tabs on Reignover, and that makes the other lanes fall apart a little bit because they don't have that supportive jungler behind them.
Yeah, you know, Piglet also finishing up his Hurricane there, and I kind of like that because the team is so low on wave clear. I think it's just a nod to that. He's going to pick up some of the attack damage later, and I mean, if you do go Hurricane into the IE, you're obviously going to be a team fighting beast later on, but normally people do kind of pick up a BF or a pickaxe or some sort of AD before they build into this, but I just think that he's kind of maybe concerned about the siege potential of Immortals here. When you look at LeBlanc does not have safe wave clear, you know, Echo does not have that much wave clear.
Yeah, Graves and Echo are kind of
very
kind of mild wave clear, but this is going to give them much safer. But I also think this is interesting because Wild Turtle did not answer with the same item. He answered with the Blade of the Rune King because he's going to get poked out by Piglet, so he wants to be able to at least sustain up afterwards. And I actually think the Runance Hurricane build is kind of funny to me because this is the item that you always wanted to be good on Caitlyn because you're like, I stand in a bush and attack twice, and I get headshot back immediately. And now it's the go-to item for this champion.
Good damage from Phoenix, trying to stave off whatever's about to happen in mid lane. You can see the team rotating in. Team Liquid knows Immortals wants this.
This is a siege, and this is why Piglet bought this item, you know, knowing that Immortals would want to group in siege, but he's going to be here late.
They're trying to clear the wave.
And
Dardoch's not going to be much. They don't even have the Tempered Fate yet for Matt, so they can't really choose to stop that from going down. They're going to let it happen anyways. Mid should be theirs if they're able to group and do the same here in just a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the power of Immortals comp. But when you have, you know, the Janna, the Azir, you have, you know, good front line that can kind of fish for initiation with looking for cocoons, and you can also obviously look for initiations with Gragas. So they have a very good group and siege comp, and this is exactly what Immortals is going to want to do. They're going to continue to do this, out-rotate, group, get a turret, get out.
Exactly. You're talking about the wave clear from TL not being very good. A lot of that is in the relative power that Immortals have. Azir, amazing wave clear, and it's an incredibly safe distance, too. He never has to put himself at risk to do that. And that's the problem here, is you have to find ways in onto this Azir, and Judge's cooldowns. Phoenix, though, is really low. That's rather risky. It's pretty ballsy to walk up there like that.
I think he was just trying to see if Pobelter would move a little bit too close and maybe try to get something done there. But Pobelter, a little bit too smart for that, going to be playing it safe, and has completed up his Abyssal, so some good power on him already.
Huni's low on mana. This might be a kill.
Oh, nice step out of the Parallel Convergence. That actually may have saved his life, but Lorlo looks to go hard here. And without that stun connecting, he actually pulls off. Immortals is going to grab Dragon. And with a ward being placed forward by Adrian just a little bit ago, Turtle he feels safe to go into the jungle. So first Dragon over to Immortals. They start to control the objectives in this game. Remember, Dardoch already got the Rift Herald, so it's kind of a back and forth at this point on the top and the bottom of the map. 15 minutes in, so definitely a bigger goal lead here for Immortals as they start to spread that. But Liquid continues to close it before Immortals is able to widen it once again.
And I mean, you can see all the refillable potions being picked up by Immortals here. This is just getting more and more common. the item is super efficient, and when you do resell it, you're not really losing much gold at all. You're losing like a potion's worth of gold when you do sell it later on. So people are just deciding, hey, it's super useful to have potions. Yep. I don't want to invest a lot of gold and constantly be buying up the biscuits. So they pick up a refillable, they use it until they need item slot, and then they just sell it.
I'm liking that more and more. It's been happening a lot.
I think it's very smart.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly smart. In jungle, is like normally you get that item, and then the question is, do I get Hunter's Potion? Do I actually upgrade it? And now we're seeing them go into full combat stats immediately. And
okay.
Got
Flash.
Got the flash, yeah.
Like Pobelter, easy save if he gets the Emperor's Divide out, so they don't decide to dive right in just yet.
Yeah, and Lorlo did blow his flash there as well, so a nice trade. You know, Reignover with quick reaction to get out of there, but you know, Lorlo doing pretty well for himself in the top lane, keeping it pretty close here with Huni, and Phoenix going down Pobelter.
Ooh, Reignover shows up just in time. If he hadn't have shown up, it could have possibly been a follow-up kill there. But Pobelter had his summoners, and once again, TL, they are on top of their Rift Heralds. They value this buff a lot, and I think a lot of that is because it goes to Dardoch. And as a jungler, you're just like, yeah, I need this. And I bet you if TL had Kindred, they'd be doing Dragon with the Devourer a lot too.
Well, he's 2-1-0, and they're basically even on CS right now as he clears that camp. So we've definitely seen good play coming from both junglers this time. Reignover really on the snowball my lanes, the 0-0-3.
So waiting for the Cull to actually cash over here from Piglet. And Wild Turtle is up 1,000 gold.
Flash forward from Phoenix, not able to get him though.
Right in the top as well. Quick draw over the wall. Huni uses that a little early. Could have let him come closer. Lorlo may go all the way this time. He saves himself. The burn's going to be there, but he gets the passive heal. Out of the ability to use Huni, keeping himself alive. And now Adrian and the team might be on the chase. It's a slow one, but it looks like with that Monsoon, they want to keep the connection. The Cosmic Bindings left and right from Matt.
Adrian just got absolutely deleted there. What a binding by Matt to turn that one around. It looked like Lorlo was completely gone once the tornado caught him, but Matt comes in nick of time, and Dardoch just wiped Adrian off the map.
Nick of time. It's been every time he needs to make a play with that Q. Whether it's his Janna or now his Bard, Matt's been ridiculous.
Yeah, Matt has been incredibly confident on these champions. The Bard, rightfully so. It's been kind of his one trick in solo queue. And Huni almost goes down, takes a drink there, makes sure that he doesn't. And you can see Matt's already heading up. Matt has been heading up this entire time. He's ready. They see Adrian over the ward, and he knows since the flash is down, no way to dodge this, and just throws it out there. And Dardoch actually soaks the cocoon for Lorlo. He doesn't get hit by it. Really well played there. Bard, Matt, man, they're basically interchangeable at this point.
Ooh, Cocoon miss. Quite a bit used here. Volatile Spider. A lot of long-range damage, but not enough CC to hold Lorlo down. Yeah. Matt's going to be going out of roam as well. He has not really been on their side of the map other than spawning. Every time he's up, he's across the river, and he's giving his team division.
Got to get those chimes.
Got to get those chimes, man. He's doing it well.
And TL's looking to get something done here in the mid lane, try to get some damage down on this turret. You can see Dardoch come around from the side.
Tempered Fate.
Matt.
Looking to see how they're going to get out of this one. Adrian saves himself with a Storm Shield. Now they're on to Phoenix. He pulls back to the Mimic, and it looks like he could go down. There's no follow-up to come in yet. Turtle, Fate's call, but does Adrian go in? He's so low, he goes down instantly. How many are they going to trade, and was it worth? That's Huni that's going to fall now. Liquid starts to turn around, but Turtle says, I'm going to get a double. Looking for the triple and possibly a The double coming in from Belter. Can he get three? Looking for the full house on Phoenix, but he's going to get away.
Skewered like a shish kebab there. Phoenix gets away, but Pobelter slides in and gets two with one Q. Woo. And now Immortals get the inside track on mid. They get to take down this turret. It's practically paper to this composition.
Yeah, Phoenix almost popped Reignover just there, right on the side, but what a crazy fight. And the confidence from Immortals, you know, Adrian going back and knowing he's giving up his life, but having confidence in his teammates to make it worth it.
See it again.
Yeah, Lorlo actually doesn't get to ultimate. He has ultimate up, but he doesn't get to use it in this fight. Adrian staying alive.
Yeah.
Matt goes off on the side. Phoenix, there's no ultimate here from Huni, so he can't actually just pop him off immediately. And then Turtle says, we're going in. Adrian, we're going to have to sacrifice you. Knocks into Dardoch, but he gets taken out. And then the follow-up there, Dardoch gets slaughtered. Lorlo's running around. He doesn't actually get to ultimate because he wasn't expecting that much damage in that small burst window there. And then everybody else just gets chased down. And Boom!
Yeah, and really, a lot of that fight to me is just an overcommittal by Phoenix onto Adrian. It's like, yes, when he stayed in there, he actually lost about 80% of his HP to try to potentially take down the support from the other team. And at that point, the team fight was basically lost, but Reignover is in some trouble here, and so is Phoenix.
Turtle!
Oh.
Whoa!
Still slowed.
Turtle going hard. No, he
Oh.
knows Matt has to use that. The next Ren would have taken him down for at least another hit. Turtle is chasing, knowing he has the kill. Over the wall goes Huni, and there goes Phoenix.
Seems like TL is just a little bit desperate here. They're trying to make things happen just time after time after time, and Immortals has gotten a lead, and they are punishing them big time.
Yeah, and Immortals knew that play was 100% okay for them to do because Piglet was pushing top side. Piglet is doing what Piglet has done a whole bunch. He's been pushing side lanes. They give him so much farm. And right there, TL are trying to pick a fight because they think they have a numbers advantage. But Dardoch's on the top side, and you also have Piglet up there. So, trying to get the assassination. Matt is playing his darndest on this.
Those cues.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was well played by Matt, but Turtle had the confidence to go over because he knew Phoenix was chunked out.
Right.
Matt was low as well. Huni's coming from behind to support him. Reignover is coming as well. His team has just been faster on the collapse every single time, and it's allowing him to play aggressive. And Turtle is 4-0-1 on the back of that.
And although we saw Immortals get 3-0'd by TSM, you have to remember, this is the 17-1 team from the regular season.
With some of the best stats along that split that we've seen.
They are aggressive. They like to fight. They get back into the game by trusting each other and having these types of skirmishes where they will sacrifice one person for 4.
And you've got to say, you know, looking at the score lines, Reignover has been everywhere this game. He's only missed out on a single kill. You know, and as far as carry junglers go, he's building damage.
Gonna be the flash out. Summoner's down for Phoenix as Immortals knows they start to press that lead. They know they have control right now.
And you also look at Immortals and who's died on this team. Well, the tank and the support. So that's expected. You look at where the kills are.
Absolutely.
You have 4 onto the Kalista and you have 2 onto the Azir. This is exactly where you want your gold on the Immortals side.
Here comes the ult from Matt.
All right, that's
Turtle's
a disengage. Turtle needs that top mid and bottom lane member. No, he doesn't. He goes in by himself, knowing the cavalry is riding in right behind him. Now they're on to Lorlo. The chrono break is only to say, walk this way. The distraction splits Immortals, and it actually splits the power they have in this fight. They're going to pull back and now tempt Liquid with a Baron.
I mean, what are TL doing? Dardoch and Matt just went in on a solo mission by themselves. The rest of the team was nowhere to be found, and Immortals once again going to make them pay big, and this is a Kalista ready to rend this Baron. We'll see if they can do anything.
I don't think they can. Adrian with the Monsoon to keep both Phoenix and Lorlo out of the pit. No chance of a steal.
Yeah, this is just super over-ambitious from TL. You can it's like you can smell the desperation on them. They're just trying to make play after play after play, and I don't think that they were this far behind. You know, look at Dardoch and Matt here. They're going to go in, but Lorlo is still quite a bit away. You have 2 members in the mid lane, and they're already fighting. All of Immortals is here. Once again, Immortals first to the fight. You see that the Hextrigger is going to pop on Turtle, and he's never in danger. He's totally fine.
That split, though, looks so scary for an AD carry.
Yeah.
Well, the composition they have for him is the Gragas, the Azir, the Janna. You're like, you need to hover him. But Turtle just outplayed that completely.
And it would have been scary if the rest of the team was there, but this was just a support and the Graves. And this is a 4-kill Kalista who's going to out-duel the Graves, right? And,
crazy.
You know, Dardoch is trying to solo kill him, basically. The team was not there to follow up. They did not have the pieces in place to make that.
Exactly. And while Turtle already had 2-item spike here for Kalista, he got to it very quickly with the Cull, and he's actually up multiple gold here. And look at this. They're going to try. TL's going to try what threw Immortals off in the last game.
Oh, he gets him on the outside of the minion. That's a Turtle down. They crack the trap shell. Can they get any more? Pobelter gets locked up as well. There's enough to drop him, but it's 2 for Matt. A double kill for the Bard.
And just like in the TSM series, you camp a bush, Immortals walk too far forward, and they get punished.
That was the first game that Immortals had against TSM. They were on 7,000 gold, the exact same bush, the exact same scenario. 2 carries get caught, and TSM was able to turn around off that. We can't be the only ones thinking about this. Immortals has got to be a little bit shaken by that.
Oh, that hurts still. That's a 5-kill shutdown and a 2-kill going to the support. Hopefully he does something good with all that cash money. 10-8, 25 minutes in. Things are getting real rowdy here as 2 members of Immortal are down, and Team Liquid's getting pushed back in the mid lane, it seems here. They're trying to fight Huni. They should be able to get him after this real long fight. And now Liquid turns around that fight in the mid lane. Piglet's trying to make it happen with Matt, and here comes Phoenix again once he gets a little bit of HP. This turret should be able to drop, but Immortals...
Oh, what a binding by
Oh my God!
No, there's the repel. He's gonna go down, so will the turret. Does Immortals get there too slow? Turtle very low. But Liquid, they are forced to back. They can't see past that vision.
And that Baron power play turned around by TL. Immortals, it looked so good for them, but now TL are back into this game, and they actually got it off of Immortals' tendency to push too far forward, to want to fight. And right there, Wild Turtle even tried to use heal to save Reignover, but it still looked like a situation where you wouldn't want to pull that move off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, after Turtle and Pobelter got caught in the bot lane, Hooney's too far up. He gets caught. Then Reignover is trying to defend a turret that has about 1 hit of HP. He had no business being there. And Immortal's looking a little bit out of sorts, and TL is right back in it.
And I'm looking at these Dark Seals now. Lorlo just sold his. Phoenix upgraded his to a Magi's.
There it is.
He has no stacks, by the way. He's got 0 stacks.
I don't know about that one.
It's not cost effective if you do that,
Yeah.
just so everybody knows.
He's counting on the pentakill in the next fight. That's going to give him the stacks. That's going to make it worth.
You got to go big.
Yep, got to go big or go home. It's playoffs.
I mean, Immortals had a game rubber banded back on them at a 7K gold advantage. TL, they're praying for the same type of play here. They're going to go towards this dragon, 20 seconds on it. It would be their first, but Immortals, this is a turret-destroying team.
Yep.
Yeah.
You cannot leave this mid-turret open.
We'll see. They try not to make the same mistake again. That was a negative Baron for them. Not something we've seen really throughout the season coming in for Immortals, around 1,200. So they're thinking safer, power in numbers. Hooney has that teleport, so we can play kind of off the ball in that sense to see if we can bait Liquid into something they don't want. Hook, line, and sinker maybe right here. Pobelter over the wall to try and take 2 on. They stop Turtle. That may be the DPS they needed to shut down. Fate's Call over the wall. That's going to be Liquid dropping to the ground as Immortals just pile on each other. Safety in numbers and also power. 13-11. They spread that gold lead to 4K.
Yeah. Huge fight from Immortals there. That's what they needed. They regroup. They stay together. This is what they've been doing right the whole game. You know, right up into that moment, they group. They get there first. They catch Piglet. They're able to chunk Piglet out of the fight. Hooney comes in from the backside and is able to eliminate him, and that was the fight right there.
Exactly. Hooney was way quicker on his TP than Lorlo was, and Lorlo's was in the river, so he had to walk all the way up and didn't even get a flank. He was just joining the fight, whereas Hooney's was a perfect angle, and that's going to be the inhibitor here for Immortals. 28 minutes in. It's back and forth series. You can see Piglet a little too far forward. He saw Reignover, and he just eats a cocoon to the face. The exhaust isn't going to do too much to Piglet, but then right there, Pobelter locked up, ultimate onto Wild Turtle, and Hooney's already here. Hooney's already thrown out all of his abilities, and then Lorlo shows up. It's a little bit too late there to try and actually get something out of this.
Yeah, and
Yell gets scattered.
When you have a comp like Liquid, so much is riding on Piglet because he's their consistent DPS. You have an assassin in the mid lane. He's not going to be deleting these tanks. The only way you have to kill the front line is Piglet. He has to stay alive. He has to put out damage.
And once again, though, TL actually make it to the dragon first. Trap line is set up, so they have to walk all the way around instead of eating it. And that's going to be the first dragon there, but they still want to fight. Hooney's on Piglet!
Oh, the flash body into Piglet. One more hit, he goes down. That's going to be the burn. Dardoch gets thrown back. Eyes are on Lorlo as Immortals tries to assess what their damage dealer is. And it looks like they're going to focus out of this fight, knowing they have the aggression. Mid lane is open, so they're going to start pushing the others.
Yeah, Immortals are trying to assess who the damage dealer is. Well, TL's like, well, Piglet's dead.
Yep.
Where our damage is gone. Phoenix, like you said, Azael, the assassin, he's not going to be doing that much damage to the squad, and you can see they have magic resistance on everybody.
Yeah.
All 4 members.
And Hooney, you know, he sees the opportunity, gets the flash body slam. He's able to all Piglet back into, and this is it. That's the end of the fight.
Oh,
you know,
man.
Without Piglet, there's nothing that they can do.
So Wild Turtle got Bard ultied as he was winding up his Kalista attack, and it still flew, and it was a crit for 300. So right at the edge there. And Kalista, you know, you can't really interrupt her auto attacks unless you go out of range. You can't stop that windup.
And I mean, at this point for TL, so much is kind of like, it becomes so difficult for Phoenix, right? Immortals is grouping, they're playing very, very safe, they're playing 5-man gaming. And Phoenix has got to zero someone out. He has to eliminate, someone like Wild Turtle, but he has a Ma. How do you kill him?
Yeah.
He has to kill someone like Pobelter, but he has the Abyssal. They have Janna supporting them. How do you kill these guys, and who do you target?
Difficult.
And this is exactly what happened when Immortals ended up playing Cloud9 during the regular season.
Yeah.
It was that game that Sneaky pulled out Jhin, and Wild Turtle built this exact build on Kalista, and he went double lifesteal. When you have double lifesteal Ma, LeBlanc does nothing to you.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you end up getting all of your HP back. If she even wants to kill you, you get more lifesteal. So it ends up being this build where how do you deal with this Kalista who is still doing the same amount of damage as she would be doing as a normal build Kalista?
Yep, and I mean...
This is the normal build now, actually.
Yeah, and he almost has that Bloodthirster completed. Piglet getting pretty strong himself, and so much is riding on his shoulders. He's a confident player. He's a world champion. Definitely has the ability to carry these fights, but he's got to do it. He's going to have to be able to react and flash Huni's body slam. He's going to have to flash these ults. He has to stay safe, and he has to be the one to kill the front line. But this is the kind of guy who wants that pressure. He wants all the resources funneled to him because he knows he can do it.
Oh, and the team has full confidence in him. They never hesitate to say, we're playing around Piglet. Piglet can carry us. They have full confidence in him. It's just like Matt went on an interview and said, I never think about how Dardoch is going to misplay and think in my mind, oh, if he doesn't hit this, then we lose. It's never even a thought for this man.
Immortals back to the Baron, though, and those spears are going to be stacking quick.
It's going to be very hard.
Oh, didn't hit Baron.
At all possible.
Didn't hit
it just missed, and they were actually right on the outside. You could see that it did affect on that ward. I don't know if this is going to be good for TL. They need to get out. Very low mana on Piglet, so he doesn't have really any disengage for himself. Only auto attacks. That's going to be 2 down. Dardoch and Phoenix fall. Reignover's the only one now for Immortals as Huni picks up another kill. And there goes the DPS on the side of Liquid. Once again, it's Lorlo, the only one that can run away from the fight.
And just like that, Baron buff is up. They have a wave. This has got to be the game here for Immortals. They're looking to pick up game number 1 over TL in this best of 5.
Absolutely strong. Coming out of the pick and ban phase, the Nidalee ban, the Azir take, and then with that blind pick, they went through the rest of the composition and really protected Turtle. Played well all around the map. And coming into the 3rd place match, Immortals making a very good case for themselves to take that spot.
Yep, 17-1 in the regular season. They got swept, but we were talking, how's their mental state? And it looks damn good. They were on point. They had that one brief lapse after they got the Baron. A couple guys got caught, but they rotated faster every single time. They were always grouped. They're in the right place, taking objectives, playing to win conditions, and fantastic initiations from Huni. He was always to the fight fast. He was finding Piglet in every fight. And this is a champion that really fit for Huni. Yes, it's a tank, but he was making plays. He was winning fights, and that's the Huni that we know and love.
So one of the things I was going to say is, guys, they did it. They changed. They went back. Well, I wouldn't say they changed. They went back to things that are comfortable and still fit, but it's still definitely in that radar of what Huni is really good at.
Exactly. It's still a playmaker.